How to flush the printheads for the weekend. It is important to flush the printheads prior to your printer having a break from printing that is over 48 hours. The blade saw can have up to 3 printheads: front, rear, and edge, and there are different combinations. The front printhead always has either a 16 or 32 valve printhead. The rear printhead can have either a 7 or 32 valve printhead. The printhead is the key if it only has 7 valves instead of 32. This will be explained later. The edge printhead will only have 7 valves. You can tell the number of valves a printhead has by physically looking at the size of the printheads when it's time. The safety equipment needed to proceed is face protection such as goggles or a face shield and rubber gloves. Other supplies needed are an empty container for waste collection and some shop towels. To start, send the gripper to the max distance away from the top clamp assembly. You will need to do a proper lockout-tagout procedure on the machine's main electrical panel. Remove the wing nuts holding the plexiglas shield onto the top clamp guard assembly to gain access to the purge valves. Save the wing nuts for reuse. Here are the general locations of the purge valves for the 3 printheads your machine may have. Now's the time to look at the printheads to determine how many your machine has and the number of valves they have. In this example, we will use the front printhead. Place a shop towel in front of the printhead nozzles. Reverse the lockout-tagout procedure. Go to the Detailed Diagnostic screen and select the Printers tab. Select Front from the drop-down menu, then select Cleaner. Place the manual purge valve for that printhead into the empty container for waste collection. Then pull back on the valve and hold until the ink is gone and the cleaner is coming out. Go back to the touchscreen and press the flush button a couple of times. This will flush cleaner into the head and through the needle valves of the printhead. The explanation on the rear printhead being the key. If the rear printhead only has 7 valves instead of 32 valves, first you need to turn the manual hand valve to switch it from the ink bottle to the cleaner bottle. Please note, if your machine has a 32-valve rear printhead or no rear printhead at all, and no edge printhead, you will not have the manual hand valve on your machine. Now select Rear from the drop-down menu. You will not have to select Cleaner as it is grayed out if the printhead only has 7 valves. Follow the same manual purge and screen flush procedure as the front printhead. If your machine has an edge printhead and a 7-valve rear printhead, you have already turned the hand valve to change from the ink bottle to the cleaner bottle. If the rear printhead that you flushed has a 32-valve printhead, turn the manual hand valve now to switch from the ink bottle to the cleaner bottle. Select Edge from the drop-down menu and follow the same manual purge and screen flush procedure as the front and rear printer heads. When you are ready to resume production, go to the Detailed Diagnostic screen and select the Printer tab. In the pull-down menu, choose a printhead, front, rear, or edge, and then select Ink. If you had to turn the manual hand valve to switch from the ink bottle to the cleaner bottle for the rear or edge printhead, if your machine has them, turn it back to switch it back to the ink bottle. Place a shop towel in front of the printhead nozzles you selected. Place the manual purge valve for the selected printhead into an empty container, then pull back on the valve and hold it until the cleaner is gone and the ink comes out. Go back to the screen and press the flush button a couple of times. This will flush the ink into the head and through the needle valves. Repeat this process for the remaining printheads on your machine. When finished, do a proper lockout-tagout procedure on the machine's main electrical panel. Reinstall the plexiglas shield using the wing nuts you saved onto the top clamp guard assembly. Reverse the lockout-tagout procedure.